What's up, guys? It's your girl Stacey Cake, your host for What's Hot, and today I am here to review the second trailer for Together. So this is a Neon production. It's a horror movie about a couple, and it talks about, I think, codependency. I was reading, so I'm excited to get into it. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, and comment, and let's get into it.
I opened the door. She was smiling at me. Her brain just snaps. I think something's happening to us. The pull, the thirst in your bones. I can't explain it, but we're sick. No? Yeah, just do it.
I think you should sleep in the spare room tonight.
I agree. We need to keep our distance.
What the heck? Okay, so let's get into this pros, cons, and my rating. So, pros. I love that this is by Neon because one of the things that I noticed was like this neon kind of color palette going on. So we had the neon blues, the neon pinks, these like fleshy tones. Just could have been a coincidence, but I think it's great branding. So that's one of the smaller things, but I actually really like the aesthetic here and what the scenes are delivering and the feel that kind of color palette gives, like this TV kind of lighting going on in hue all throughout the consistency of these colors throughout what we see in these trailers. Just something that stood out to me that's really cool. Another thing I enjoyed, but it's also kind of on my cons end, is the mysteriousness. Another thing that I enjoy, but it's also a little bit on my cons, is the mysteriousness that they left here. So it's like we know that something is like it's about a couple and that they're physically being pulled together, and I think that's just such a dope and interesting concept. So that's kind of like a pro within a pro, like the storyline and all the concept of it all is just awesome. But I really love the mysterious. It's like we know that, but we don't really know like anything else about what's going on. And so I think they did a great job of maintaining that from trailer 1 to trailer 2, because we don't really learn much in trailer 2 that we didn't learn in trailer 1. We just see more visuals from it, which is obviously intentional on their behalf. They don't want to give away too much. However, I just thought they did a great job of like kind of keeping those details back and evoking curiosity out of me as a viewer and wanting to see more, wanting to see what's causing this. And then my other pro would be visuals here. Just very intense visuals, highly emotional and reactive scenes they chose to put in this trailer, from facial expressions to them literally becoming one, which made me think of when people say, oh, like talk about their partner or their significant other, and they're like, oh, like I want to be in your skin. And it's like we literally see them going inside of each other's skin. And the eye scene is like crazy, where their lashes are like interconnecting, crazy stuff going on here. And so I think the visuals here are really good at just setting a tone for the film, maintaining how intense and eerie, I dare say, or like gory this may or may not be. It's like a lot of sweat, a lot of like distress on the faces of the actors in this film. So I think just the visuals were just A1 from start to finish in both trailers, honestly. But specifically in this one, we just really get that we really maintain that like intensity all the way through, just with the scenes that they chose to include in this trailer. Cons. This one really wasn't a big necessarily like personal con or preference, but just me kind of thinking of how it can come off to other viewers. Like them not having a lot of other actors or faces in the second trailer, like always is the main two couple, I think can sometimes make a film seem like it lacks depth or complexity, or like it may not be as attention grabbing as when like we kind of see other people being woven into the storyline of whatever else is going on here. That's something I feel like, because I know based on trailer 1 there are other characters in the film, so I feel like we definitely could have seen those characters a little more in trailer 2, even if they didn't want to tell too much. But it's like they could have like shown some of those other characters involvement a little bit more to kind of add to the depth of the storyline. And my only other con I would say was, yes, I love the mysteriousness that they maintained throughout the 2 trailers. However, I don't really feel like I feel like we could have learned a little something more, not a lot. I think from the first trailer, I was kind of taken away that this might be some kind of curse, something going on specifically in the town, because she noted that they had moved recently and all that, and that's when things kind of started to go left. So I'm assuming it's some type of like curse or something that's happening, going on in the town. But I feel like without necessarily explicitly saying that, they could have incorporated some other scenes or something to kind of like show, again, some more depth or like involvement from other people to kind of garner more curiosity outside of just the visually tense scenes or the visually disturbing scenes. Outside of those scenes, I feel like they could have garnered some interest with more of like the premise of the storyline, like what is it about, what's the substance here. And so that's the only thing that I felt like was kind of like you could have gave us a little bit. Like, I love the mysteriousness, not knocking it, but it just felt like it could have just been a little bit more, just a little bit more. Because if someone asked me what this is about, what this film is about, I'm trying to think how I would describe it. And I guess I would say, oh, it's a couple who recently moved, who is going through a hard time, and suddenly they're being like literally like physically pulled together and weird stuff is happening. Like, that's probably the best description I can think I would probably give just based on reading these trailers. But I feel like, it could be a little more there to kind of like intrigue or add some substance to that, you know what I mean? But without further ado, I'm gonna rate this trailer. I would say I'm gonna give it 3.5 out of 5 flames. I thought it was really good as far as like mysteriousness and everything, just capturing, but I don't feel like it was a lot of substance in this particular trailer. It was just kind of fast paced. I think there was more substance in the first trailer, but yeah, just for trailer 2, I'm going to do a 3.5 out of 5 flames. I do actually really want to see this film because I do think visually it's like just a masterpiece already, and so I'm excited to see how it all connects and what's all going on here. And they incorporated a lot of like their reviews from other outlets. So I'm interested and I want to go see this. I like that they said it's a perfect date night like horror film. So yeah, gotta make that happen. But let me know what you guys thought of the film. If you love this type of content, if you love what I'm doing, please support. Here's my Cash App. You can leave a tip. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, and comment. And I will see you guys next time.